Biggest story of the day comes out of the NBA. How y'all doing? I'm yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. If you're watching this on my main hip-hop channel, I would like to invite you to my sports channel. It's entitled FERRO Reacts, F-E-R-R-O Reacts, R-E-A-C-T-S. That's a more sports-oriented platform. So if you're into stuff like this, it don't got to just stop with this video right here. There's more sports conversations happening and highlights and commentary and all that great stuff on my sports channel at FERRO Reacts right now. So if you're into stuff like that, don't hesitate to follow that platform as we get into some NBA news. LeBron James, Daryl Morey, the Houston Rockets general manager, and China. So let me try to break this down as quickly as I can. We're on the clock here. I'm already a minute in. Here's what has happened. Let's start with the overarching point. There is a lot going on in China right now. There is a lot going on in Hong Kong specifically. Protests, numerous protests over the lack of freedom. We understand that they believe, communism is going on over there. So I don't want to get too political. That's not my world. Put it like this. People are fighting for their freedom in China right now. And protests are happening every day for basic human rights. The NBA does a lot of business with China. Let me be clear with you. There is more business to be had in China than it is in America with the NBA. Do you hear what I just said? Meaning, though the NBA, for pretty much all the games are played in the States, because China's population is so crazy, because so many fans over there consume the game of basketball, there is more business to be done in China than it is in America right now for the NBA. For the NBA. Okay? Hold that thought. The NBA has been kind of teetering with preseason games in China. I believe at some point in the near future, the NBA is going to have regular season games be played in China. Like a lot of them, not just one or two. Like a lot of them. Hell, I wouldn't rule out teams in China at some point. I know that sounds crazy to think about right now, but I don't think down the line it'll be so far-fetched. We'll see. So, LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers were in China for a home and home. Well, 2 games versus Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. So you got 2 of the NBA's teams in China, and there were other teams placed. I think Houston was in Japan. Their teams are out the country right now playing preseason games. It's marketing for the NBA. Some of these stars got brands. LeBron's got a big shoe brand with Nike. He's got a $1 billion contract with Nike. Reportedly, Kyrie Irving's a big deal at Nike. We get it. And, Kevin Durant's injured. He's on the Brooklyn Nets, too. He's got a big contract with Nike. There's a lot of business to be had with China. NBA players, the first chance they get, they go out the country as soon as the summer starts to go get that bag in China. Now, with that being said, Daryl Morey sent out a tweet. Again, this is the Houston Rockets general manager. All he tweeted out was, "I stand with Hong Kong, fight for freedom." Now, the Chinese government didn't like that tweet. Again, they're like, we ain't with all these protesters. America, stay out of our business. Daryl Morey's like, all I'm tweeting out is fight for freedom. Fight for freedom. Here's what LeBron James said in response to Daryl Morey's tweet.
We all talk about this freedom of speech. Yes, we all do have freedom of speech. But at times there are ramifications for the negative that can happen when you're not thinking about others and you're only thinking about yourself. So I don't believe, I don't want to get into a word or sentence feud with Daryl Morey, but I believe he wasn't educated on the situation at hand, and he spoke, and so many people could have been harmed, not only financially but physically, emotionally, spiritually. So just be careful what we tweet and we say and what we do. Even though yes, we do have freedom of speech, but there can be a lot of negative that comes with that too.
Last question, please.
LeBron went on to say, let me clear up the confusion. I do not believe there was any consideration for the consequences and ramifications of the tweet. I'm not discussing the substance. Others can talk about that. My team and this league just went through a difficult week. I think people need to understand what a tweet of a statement can do to others. And I believe nobody stopped and considered what would happen. Could have waited a week to send it. So what LeBron James' frustration is with GM Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets, his frustration is, yo, you got 2 NBA teams in China. You tweeted out your support of protesting of the Chinese government. No matter what you think about the Chinese government, I mean, their hands are more tied in the pockets of how the NBA is getting their bread than just a typical fan. I hope you're following me here. It's a lot of information to unpack. So, LeBron's like, Daryl Morey put the NBA in a tough spot by siding with protesters who just want freedom. He said he wasn't talking about the substance of the comment, but just the notion that you would go against the Chinese government while 2 teams are over in China trying to play basketball games. Now, these games did happen. These games were not televised in China. Fans did show up and show out, but there were protests going on outside. Pretty much, it was a very, very toxic situation that reportedly guys like LeBron James and other NBA players who were in China at the time, they were pissed about. Now, Adam Silver did support Daryl Morey in his right of freedom of speech. Very, very tough situation. Because you got LeBron essentially going against protesters fighting for freedom. But let's just say something like that equivalent happened in the States, where there were African American fighting for freedom here in the States. We've seen LeBron time and time again stick his neck out for people within our community. So the question people are asking LeBron, as he received a lot of criticism online today, was, damn, Bron, is it really freedom for everyone? Or do you just want freedom for Americans? Because you have had no problem in the past voicing your frustration with how Donald Trump is running this country. So you don't think it, and I don't want to go too far in some of the things that have happened within China over the last few years, but it ain't good. Trust me, we got way more basic rights over here than they do. And I ain't saying I'm not praising this country by any means, because we got our own set of issues we need to discuss. But be clear, it's bad in China right now. It's bad. So people are looking at LeBron a little funny. Are you protecting your brand? Your $1 billion brand? You don't want no issues with China because you make a lot of money over there? What's up, King James? You gonna put your money where your mouth is? Look, I think it's a tough issue for all parties involved. I'm gonna leave it to you guys in the comment box below. Not gonna necessarily give too much of my input, but from the information I've given you guys, let me know where your head is at. LeBron James believes that the USA should stay out of China's business and their government affairs. Daryl Morey is like, I'm riding with people protesting for their freedom. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. Thank you guys so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.